What was your worst birthday you had? In 2010, my best friend died on my birthday. This year, my mom died 5 days before my birthday. Not sure if it's my worst, but it's definitely top 3. I was turning 9. I had saved my dollars up, wanting to buy myself a nice birthday present. Birthday was on a Saturday. My mother told me to give her my money so she could keep it safe. She went and gambled it on the pokers on Friday whilst I was at school. So I wake up on Saturday to no birthday presents and my money was gone too. My mom bought a goat on my 18th birthday and didn't get me anything. My dad was cremated on my 16th birthday. His death was sudden. No birthday since has felt right. I'm 60 this year. My most recent one. I'm at college, and because of COVID I couldn't drive down to my family. Also because of COVID most of my friends in town went home. I have a full-time job so I couldn't. My mom, as a birthday present, said she'd take me shopping when I got home, as I needed some new clothes for when I graduate. She died before I was able to get home. We were playing laser tag. One cousin pushed me into a corner and blasted me for an entire round. In the next round my other cousin bashed my face with a laser gun. They played the remaining rounds without me since I was preoccupied to having my bleeding face tended to. I told my parents beforehand I didn't want to invite them since they were jerks, but they insisted I was overreacting and didn't want to insult the parents by not inviting them. Me and my ex-husband had the same birthday. One year I had asked him repeatedly to take the day off so we could go on vacation. He waited till the day of and sent out a email to his boss saying he was sick. I didn't know any of this. I thought he took the day off. We drove about 8 hours to get to a beach resort, and when we checked into the hotel they asked him for a doctor's note. He finally told me, but to not worry. He would just go to a CVS and see a doctor. I told him they would still know he lied. BC the doctor's note will still have an address of a beach resort town on it. We spent the rest of our birthday driving back home. My dad told me he couldn't be there for my 16th birthday as his friend, mistress, had booked a holiday for them. He told me this in front of my mother, who was still in denial about the fact he was having an affair. When I got upset he would miss my birthday. They both told me I was a selfish little bitch and the world didn't revolve around me. On my birthday my dad didn't even call. When I was 11 my family had planned a camping trip which would take place during my 12th birthday. So we had the birthday party the week before. On the day of my actual birthday, while I was away on the trip, my house was broken into and my new PlayStation was stolen, along with all my games. My father found out the day of, but didn't want to spoil the rest of the trip, so he waited until we got home to tell me about it, which means he spent half the week hearing me talk about how juiced I was to break in the new games with him knowing they had been stolen, and I was probably gonna be crestfallen over it. Tough day for me, but I can only imagine how upsetting that experience must have been for my father Mayo. I threw a party for my 18th birthday, invited a couple dozen people. One person came. Granted I did it semi last minute, decided to have the party 2 weeks before, but it was still depressing. Edit, to all the people trying to convince me to be mad at my friends back then. You can stop. Most of the people I invited said they had previous commitments, mostly work because they had jobs, and it was a Saturday night. I'm not stupid. I know that some of them probably just didn't want to come. But I'm also not stupid enough to make assumptions and be petty and angry over something that happened years ago that I can't say I wouldn't have ever done myself. 21. My grandpa died a couple weeks prior. The biggest loss of my life so far, as he was the closest thing I had to a father figure. He helped raise me, and I was home alone all day because grandma was in a different city and other relatives were doing their own thing. And I can't drive for medical reasons, and walking somewhere to try and celebrate wasn't really an option, nor was public transportation due to proximity to the holidays. My sister and I are born a year and 8 days apart, so growing up we would have our parties together. I remember my 10th birthday, her 9th. About 15 of her friends came, and only one of the friends I invited came. Don't remember much of the party, but I still remember that feeling of disappointment and sadness. My 18th. I was at college and my family came out to visit me for the weekend. My actual birthday was Sunday, the day they had to leave. But we did some fun stuff the Friday and Saturday. On Sunday morning, my parents sat me down and told me my dog had died 4 days earlier. And they didn't tell me because they didn't want to ruin the weekend. Then they left. So I spent my actual birthday crying by myself in my room. All of them pretty much. Every year when I was a kid my dad would call and say happy birthday and told me he got me a birthday present but it never came. My sister however always got birthday presents from our dad. Then when I turned 13 my own mum and stepdad decided they'd rather go to the car races instead of being with me for my birthday and did this every year after it until I was around 18. I don't celebrate my birthday anymore and nor do I care about it. Woke up to my brother coming downstairs telling me to get the duck up. I passed out on the couch, but it was our apartment. He walked out the door, and I didn't see him until 6 that day. Got myself up, and forgot it was my birthday for a couple minutes. My other roommate woke up, saw me on the couch, gave me a side eye, like I ducked his mom, and got dressed for work without a word. That day I sat there, and thought to myself, man did I do something to piss them off? Question mark? Did I do something while I was drunk? Question mark? No, I didn't do anything to them. 9 PM rolls around and my 17 years old sister and her friend show up and wish me happy birthday. Best part of the day because they meant it, and only then did my brother and roommate give me a oh yeah, happy birthday. Never wanted to stop existing more than I did that day. No calls from my mom or messages from my grandparents. Not a single message on social media. The only thing I got was $5 from my brother for being able to buy him alcohol. I really wish I felt loved by others more often. It was my 18th. My dad was kind of eccentric and months earlier brought home a chick for my little sister. It turned out to be a rooster. Big and ornery. We had a big property, but he liked to roam. Well, that afternoon after school, he was walking around, and I happened to notice him at the moment he was run over by a truck. I wasn't too attached to him, but that's not something anyone should see. I knew my sister would lose her shit, so I grabbed a shovel, scraped him up and buried him. Then, my mom who was semi-estranged came to take me out for a birthday dinner. I broke the news to my sis about the bird, and she took it like a champ. But then my mom started harping on my dad for being crazy and doing shot like bringing home roosters. That being why she left, etc. Just then the waitress came by to get our order. She was really pretty and I was 18. So I noticed. But I wasn't ready to order. So I said as much. Only my mom was ready to get going. So she told me to figure it out. I huffed and puffed under my breath and my mom looked up at the waitress and said, "Oh, don't mind him. His chicken just died." I don't know if the waitress made a face. I was unable to lift my head from embarrassment. Today, actually, I was used by my friends visiting town to drive them around all weekend, which prevented me from partying. Said they were going, make it up to me, and throw a cookout at my house today so I could party. Waited all day to hear back from them and it didn't happen. Girlfriend came over then proceeded to do schoolwork for the classroom she teaches and leaves after an hour to go to sleep since she has to get up early. Didn't get me a card or anything. Barely said a sentence to me while I watched the movie she picked out and ate the food I got us. Today I realize there are a lot of people close to me who take advantage of my eagerness to help. I'm the guy who goes all out on others' birthdays. Today really hurt. I had a birthday the day of the fundamentals of engineering exam. It basically takes all day and all my friends took it as well. No one wants to do anything afterwards, so no celebration or party or cake or anything for me. The next year I was at off as a candidate school to join the Navy. Obviously I didn't get to celebrate that year either. So my worst 2 in a row. 16th birthday. It was on a Sunday. My mother woke me up to go to church with her, but didn't give me enough times to get ready. My hair was a greasy knotted mess. She proceeded to tell everyone she ran into that I hadn't gotten the shower. I had an event I was a volunteer for right after church. followed by a small dinner with a few friends. The whole day just would have been better if I would have showered. It was nothing like the magical sweet 16s in movies. My then husband and I were separated. I had picked up a second job waiting tables nights, and he came by the restaurant the night before my birthday and said he had something for me and wanted to put it in my truck. So I gave him the keys. I thought maybe it was just something I'd left at the house. When I got in my truck at the end of my shift, I couldn't believe it. He had left me a gorgeous bouquet of flowers, a bottle of my favorite perfume, and a gift card to a store I liked. I certainly wasn't expecting any of that. He wants to get back together, I thought. A few days later he told me that he was happy living alone and did not love me anymore. I think he was trying to let me down easy with all the gifts. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.